Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 1. For this cause I, Paul, the prisoner of Yahushua HaMashiach, for you Gentiles. For if you have heard of the dispensation of the grace of Yahweh, which is given me to you, ward. Verse 3, how that by revelation he made known unto me the mysteries, as I wrote aforetime, Slakia, in few words. Verse 4, whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mysteries of Hamashiach Yahushua. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, who I'm learning this 100% truth from, and to the Akim and the Akwaf listening and learning, Shalom. This is Seek the Most High Kingdom, and I'm coming at you with another lesson, and this lesson is going to be entitled, You Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Bible is a mystery to you. Here in Ephesians chapter 3, Paul, it started off saying he was talking to you Gentiles. And first and foremost, we need to understand who those Gentiles were in Ephesus, who Apostle Paul was speaking to. Many do believe that the Gentiles were all the heathen nations, the Japanese, the Chinese, Ishmael, the Arabs, but to have proper understanding, you have to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you were scattered through the four corners of the earth, and that when you start serving Allah and it's Jesus God. He a newly created God. So now that you know that you were scattered through the four corners of the earth, you go to Ephesians 1, chapter 1, verse 1, and it'll tell you who Paul was speaking to. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1, Paul, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, by the will of Yahweh, to the saints which are in Ephesus, and to the faithful in Hamashiach Yahushua. So Paul was speaking to the saints. And who were the saints? The saints will be you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Before I read the precepts in Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to just quote 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21, and it reads, it says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. So to prove you that the saints are you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're going to come out of the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33, and we're going to read verses 1, 2, and 3, and it reads, and this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of Yahweh, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, verse 2, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law to them. Verse 3, yea, he loved the people, all his saints are in thy hand, and they sat down at the feet, every one shall receive of thy word. So in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1, Paul was speaking to the saints in Ephesus. So you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you need to understand that you are the saints of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, who received the law. Only the children of Israel received the law. All the other heathen nations didn't receive the law. That's why you're called holy. That's why you're blessed above all people upon the face of the earth, because of the law, statutes, and commandments. Now that I proved to you, that Paul was speaking to the saints, will be you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that you were Gentiles, because you was living in Ephesus and you was taking on the customs of the heathen nation. It's similar to what you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans do here in America. You've taken on the custom of the heathen, Esau, Edom, and the other heathen nations. You're worshiping this false God, this Jesus God. And as we continue in Ephesians chapter 3, and verses 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to continue reading in Ephesians, but now we're going to look up this, we're going to go to verse 3 again and read, how that by revelation made known unto me the mysteries, as I wrote afore in few words. Verse 4, whereby when you read, you may understand my knowledge and the mysteries of Hamashiach Yahushua. So the understanding of this Bible is a mystery, only given to the elect. This is Google Bible. This is Google Dictionary and the definition of mystery. And it reads something that is difficult or impossible to understand or explain. And that's what you hear many times when you ask you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, do you believe in God or do you read the Bible? They say, hey, it's too difficult to understand. You know, that's one of the main answers I receive. Like, oh, it's too difficult, man. I don't mess around with the Bible. And we're gonna continue with that definition of mystery. And it says a puzzle, an enigma, a conundrum, a riddle, a secret. And the words in this Bible, they are a secret to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Esau, Edom, who is the so-called white man, and Moab and other heathen nations, they don't understand that because this Bible is written in a riddle. You know, Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 10. Precept must be upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. That's how you read the Bible. You can't just read the Bible like it's a novel. You know, it's a puzzle. You have to piece it together. And you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all don't have the patience. Number one, we know our attention span is real low. You know, only thing you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans want to think about is really making money and think about these sporting events. But you don't want to come to the proper understanding of the word of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, the Bible, and the scriptures. So now that you know the definition of mystery is something that's difficult or impossible to understand or explain. So when you hear the men of the law on the highways and the byways, you know, telling y'all that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, spoken of in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and it reads, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark and the name of the beast, of the number of his name. Now here is wisdom, that him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666, which we already telling you that's the mark of the beast. It's a microchip, it's an implantable microchip that will be implanted in your right hand or in your forehead. So you can't understand that. You say, I don't understand what you're talking about, because we already understand what the definition of mystery is. So that's the answer we received. So this is on YouTube. I can't play it, but and it reads, the RFID chip may be tied to the new coronavirus vaccine. So what they're saying is they're going to put, you know, it's going to be like nanobots, you know, that they're going to put in this vaccine, and it's going to be tied to this RFID chip, which many of you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to take, because y'all want to go back to normalcy. Y'all want y'all lives back. And again, many of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, because y'all don't, even though we read out of the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16 through 18, telling you what the RFID chip is, the mark of the beast, and you can go online and you'll see this. Y'all are still say, I don't know what the RFID chip, you know. You have a lot of the apostles and the elders, they out there asking people on the highways and byways, hey, what's the RFID chip? And people saying, I don't know. I have no idea what the RFID chip is. It's Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 5, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men, as it is now revealed unto his holy apostles and prophets by the Spirit. So this word, it wasn't made known to Esau, Edom, and other heathen nations. They can't understand this Bible, but for 400 plus years, they have led you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans believing that the Most High was white and his name is Jesus, and they were the holy angels. Romans chapter 11 and verse 7, and it reads, what then? Israel have not obtained that which it seeketh for, but the election have attained it, and the rest were blinded. Why? Because the Most High Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, he ordained men from 2,000 years ago from the womb that they will understand these scriptures. And again, we already read that the word wasn't made known. The mysteries were not made known to the sons of men. The sons of men will be Esau, Edom, mainland, the heathen nations. Romans chapter 11 and verse 8, and it reads, according as it is written, Yahweh have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this very day, even unto this day, 2,000 years ago. The Most High put a spirit of slumber upon you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that y'all will have ears to hear and eyes to see, but y'all won't understand these scriptures. But he gave it to his elect, they obtain the understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. That's why everything is a mystery to you. You know, as Paul wrote, there's a proper understanding of this word. And you won't get this in your churches, because your churches, they're under that 501c3 program. So they can't preach the truth of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Jacob. But you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are stiff-necked people. A future prophecy. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6, and it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So even in Matthew chapter 24, verse 6 through 8, it's telling you that, you know, we're in the last days of this kingdom. But because the Bible is a mystery, you know, again, we're going to read it, something that is difficult or impossible to understand or explain. You can't explain, you know, this COVID-19, you know, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. But the elect know what this COVID-19, you know, what it is and what's coming out of this COVID-19, which is the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, which I've showed you on YouTube, that they are already saying that, you know, this thing going to be tied in with this coronavirus. In Matthew 24 and verse 6 and 7 and 8, and it's saying that nation shall rise up against nation and kingdom against kingdom. So you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all don't understand all of that. Because why? Because this is a mystery, something that's difficult and impossible to understand or explain. So you're thinking that life is going to go back to normal, you know, but Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is about to implement martial law, and this RFID chip, which is going to be mark of the beast. Our last precept coming out of the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 38, and it reads, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking, "He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." And what is the rivers of living water? Proper understanding of the Bible, the scriptures. That's living waters. You know, so again, this lesson 1 minute to be long. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone.